Welcome back to Between Two White Coats, a podcast designed to help you be the healthiest version of yourself. I'm Dr. Michelle Plaster, a family medicine doctor.
And I'm her co-host, Amber Foster, a family nurse practitioner. In our combined 30 years in medicine, we've seen a lot.
We're discussing key issues surrounding health and wellness, answering some of our biggest questions, overcoming health obstacles, and giving patient-centered advice in hopes of educating you and providing the tools you need to live a healthy life.
If you find our podcast helpful, please consider subscribing so you don't miss an episode. And don't forget to leave us a 5-star rating and review. This will help other people find our podcast.
Thanks for joining us. We look forward to serving you. Welcome back to Between Two White Coats, and thank you for joining us as we talk about something that's really exciting to us, and that is general wellness.
Yes, we even made a t-shirt.
We made
because
t-shirts.
I was like, wanted one so bad.
Amber had an idea. And,
throw the t-shirt.
Oh, here we go. Okay, sorry if you're audio only,
can't
but
see it.
We have these great t-shirts that we're wearing in our clinic. It's Wellness Wednesdays, and we are wearing our t-shirts on Wednesday, and it says
Wellness for every body. Please make sure it's 2 words.
Body.
Not one.
Yes. So it's not everybody because, that's fine. A wellness for everybody.
Yes,
but it's for everybody.
Every person.
Yes. And so what does that mean, Amber? Why does that matter?
Well, we are a family practice. And so I always say we see birth to death, which is what I mean. Like I literally will have a 3-day-old and then my next patient may be a 90-year-old. And what works for my 3-day-old does not work the same for my 90-year-old.
And I'm going to have a person who I'm talking about how they need to gain weight. And then I'm talking to someone about how they need to lose weight.
Yes.
And so every body is so different.
Yeah. It's individualized medicine, making sure that we're meeting people where they are. How can we get them better? And what better is what's best for you is not going to be best for me.
Exactly.
Okay, what's your better? What's my better? So, I don't know. I feel like we have a large campus. I don't know if people have been here. We might can do an aerial shot, Elizabeth, although you'd love for me to just throw that in on you. But like for people to see, our campus is actually pretty big. So we have a clinic and then we have a wellness building. And so in our wellness building, we do see clinic patients, and our urgent care is kind of on the side of that with its own entrance. We learned that during COVID. Thank you, COVID.
Yes.
That we wanted a dedicated place for sick people where we weren't,
lobby
free sick. And so, and then our wellness center, when we're building and dreaming about that, like what else can we do that complements traditional medicine? And so that's why we have like the cryo and the infrared sauna, and we do aesthetics and massage and peptides and all the wonderful things. And so how do you bridge across the parking lot? And you wouldn't think that would be such a big deal, but it is.
It is. And sometimes we'll say the sick building and the well building. But a wellness for everybody, to me as a business owner, also reminds us as to who we are and why we are different, because there is a certain med spa goer, and that's not everybody.
Yeah.
There is a certain person who goes, I'm going to go seek out those peptides that I learned about at the gym. And what we want in our wellness center are those people. I love it. Come, let us help you look good, and let us help you optimize your health when you're already really healthy. But sometimes the people who aren't seeking wellness services are the people who are seeking sick services.
Mm-hmm.
And it shouldn't be mutually exclusive. The people who are on medicines need to be doing the best they can with their lifestyle. And in our wellness center, we have a physical therapist, and we have multiple medical providers, nurse practitioners, doctors, and our goal is to figure out where you are, where you want to get to, where we feel like you should get to for your optimal medical health, and then how do we get everybody to that best place? And we've said many times that it's really like, what is your best life? And everybody has a best life. Everybody has something that they are striving toward. Every body has something that body can't do and wish it could, or isn't and wish it was. And so how do we help you get there? I loved when you said it, because it's everybody needs to figure out where are you and where are you trying to be.
Yeah. So how would you tell a patient to start that? How would you say, okay, now you got me excited. Y'all have a t-shirt.
Right.
How do you get wellness for everybody? So just the average person that's listening, what would you say? How would you say to start?
So this would be, if a patient hit me with that, I would say, what are your goals? What can't you do that you wish you could do? What's not happening for you that you wish was? What's getting in your way? What does well look like for you? What I care about, or even what I care about as your doctor for you, may not at all be what you care about. Yeah. And so while I'm trying to get someone's A1C down another point or two for their diabetes control, what they might care about is walking on stage to give a speech. We have a patient that from years ago runs a school, and she wanted to get healthy enough to be able to get out of her wheelchair and walk onto the stage to give the graduation speech as the person in charge of the school. Well, I would have never dreamed that for her.
Yeah.
What wellness looked like for her is she needed to be able to climb 4 stairs and walk 10 steps. What wellness looked like for me, for her, was totally different. Yeah. And so, first I would say, what does wellness look like to you through your eyes? And what's getting in the way of that? And so if you were to just write down, what does wellness look like to me and what's in my way? And then what do we need to do? How do we get those things out of the way? How do we get you motivated? How do we give you tools?
And how do you like our wellness ideas as well?
Yes.
I need
and
you
then,
also.
Meanwhile, I'm going to get your A1C down 2 points.
Yes.
I will sneak in my own personal agenda. Yes. I always do. Ask my husband. But so I think that's what I would say. How would you answer that same question if someone posed it to you?
Very similarly, like I would say, sometimes with patients, it takes a true conversation. So I think sometimes when patients come into the office, they kind of clam up and they get nervous, and they're like, oh, I'm going to pull out my list. I never mind the list pulling out.
I never mind the list.
I need you to, let's have the conversation. And then also be willing to say, okay, we're going to take a pause on this. Let's get this fixed and then come back and let's do the next thing. And so I think that initially I would say to sit down and have a conversation with one of your providers or someone that you trust and say, like, these are my goals. This is what I want to accomplish. Or I don't even know, I don't know where to start. I just feel bad. Well, then
I just know what I can't do. Or I just know what's not right.
Yeah. So have you had I'm always a huge proponent of wellness visits, like your annual wellness visit. That's a quote unquote clinic thing, not a quote unquote wellness thing, but it is still a wellness thing.
Yeah.
And making sure you're having your annual wellness where we're running basic labs and we're checking your blood pressure and we're checking your weight and asking you about depression. And so I would say initially start with getting your annual wellness. If you have not been diligent in doing that, go ahead and do that. And then be prepared to say, hey, I don't like XYZ, or I feel like this is impeding my health, and come up with a plan.
And I love how you said it's a wellness thing or a clinic thing, because what I think is different about our family health is it's one thing.
Yeah.
I've been saying we are one mission, and our mission is to help people be well. And whether that means we have to get you back from sickness to be well, or whether that means that we're optimizing your already good health, or that you're a young athlete and we're helping you get to the next level in your sport, whatever it might be, what does your well look like? And the sick medicine and the well medicine go hand in hand. So when we're saying everybody, I don't think people should say, well, I have to take care of all these chronic diseases before I can start looking at how I can develop a wellness program. No, this all happens at the same time. And how are you going to care for yourself?
Yeah. And we're doing an initiative where we're saying everybody, every stage, every goal, every journey. And so we're going to interview a patient later on about her journey, but stage and goal, which we've kind of integrated into everybody anyways.
We tend to talk about every stage because we're family medicine.
Yeah.
You do a good amount of pediatrics. You've worked in pediatric settings in the past. And I think you're an every stage perfect example, because at the same time that you were working a peds office during the day, you were working as a hospitalist for some of the sicker older people that were hospitalized at night. And I'm family medicine trained, and have delivered babies all the way through. I love my geriatrics, and so everything always is well, what stage are you in your life? And stage could be an age thing. Stage could be a situation. There are different people. My husband and I had a child older than other people, and so the stage that we're in with chasing around a 13-year-old and being his Uber driver isn't typical 54-year-olds necessarily. We have friends who are graduating their kids. So it's not always about your chronologic age, but just what you're doing in life right now. Our stage of life also is kind of the sandwich generation of taking care of kids and taking care of sick parents. And that's a very remarkable stage that you have to focus on your own wellness to be able to get through. But different stages of life always comes up. And so I think people go, oh, well, that's probably geared toward old people, or, oh, that's probably geared toward kids. It doesn't matter where you are in your life. Are you focused on being well?
Yeah.
Whatever being well is in that moment for you, are you able to conquer it? And if you're not conquering it alone, are you tapping into the resources?
Well, and which you've been here because it's your clinic the whole time, and I've been here 11 years, like I've aged with my patients.
Yeah.
So we're seeing patients in different stages, and now I'm taking care of, like, I have several families where I'm taking care of the grandmother, the daughter, and the granddaughter.
Yeah.
So we're seeing kind of across the continuum of life,
and in that
too.
one family, lots of stages.
Yes, and I love that. That's one of the things I absolutely love about family medicine is that we do get to take care of true families.
I love a story popped out to me when you said that we've aged with our patients.
Yes.
I have a 90-year-old who a couple of weeks ago, and she's always cracked me up. I've taken care of her for 20 years. And she said, "You're getting old, but you still look great." And I was like, I do not know whether to be offended or complimented, but I'm going to go with complimented. But yes, we are aging with our patients, and we're seeing them through the different stages as well as their family.
And I love the rapport of family practice because of that. We're not for everybody. But the patients that we do have and we've built good rapport with, like, I love that we get to see them in their different stages as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And then wellness for every goal. And I love this because you started by asking, what does wellness for everybody, and how would that affect a patient, asking us that. And so one of the first things I would say to people is, what's your goals? And I think too many times, you and I are both goal setters. I'm a vision board maker, and I'm always writing down goals. And a friend of mine once said, I've come to realize that the successful people I know always have goals written down somewhere.
I have stuff written in lots of places. So I just am like, I write stuff down in multiple journals.
And I'll shoot for really high goals. And I'm always like, hey, if I, want to make $1 million and I only make 800,000, I'm not going to be disappointed, whatever the thing might be. And so, what are your goals? How will you know that you're climbing the right ladder if you haven't stood back to say, what ladder am I trying to climb? And so I think setting wellness goals is really important. I think having goals in life, your goal could be that you're trying to get 3 promotions at your job. Your goal could be that you're trying to run a marathon, things that we think of as goals.
Or trying to get dinner on the table for your family.
Yes.
Because that's
your
usually
goal could be that you're trying to food prep on Sunday. And or that you want to just start walking 5,000 steps, to just be able to walk across your house. Your goal could be that you want to be able to go to your grandchild's kindergarten graduation without your walker. Whatever it might be, set those goals, write those goals down, tell somebody about that goal, and then figure out what you're going to do to achieve it. And if it is your health, mental, spiritual, physical health that is getting in the way of you living your best life and hitting those goals, then what are we going to do about it? And who's your team? You're not by yourself in this world. Your team could be your family. It could be friends. It could be your medical team. Nothing makes us happier than to cheer people on as they're trying to get to their goals. And nothing, like, you want to see Amber and I get excited in the clinic when someone comes in and they've hit a personal goal for themselves.
I'm taking pictures.
Yeah. Oh, you are.
I mean, we're totally
You've
doing
grabbed
selfies.
me out of a room plenty of times to be like, I got to tell you, I got to show you, this person's got to tell you they had a goal to lose 20 pounds and they're at 25. And, whatever it is, they had a goal to get their A1C under control, or whatever their goal was. It's, when we help people get to what they want out of their life, that is really exciting. We are really excited about this Wellness for Everybody campaign, endeavor, initiative, whatever we want to call it. But we do think that it's important that you focus on what you want out of this life. We've said this before, and I truly believe it to be true. You get this one life. And you get to do with it what you want to do with it. There is nothing that can get in your way except probably you. And so whatever is in your way, let's get some kind of plan together. Write down what your goals are, write down what it is that you're trying to get to, and really look at, what does well look like for you? What's in your way? And then let's get to well. We like to leave you on a good note, so here's today's Tell Me Something Good. Something good is the caricature version of myself. When I came into Film Podcast today, our marketing manager had made me into the cutest cartoon. And let me just tell you, if you haven't looked at this yet, I make an adorable cartoon. I know many of you are posting the caricature version of yourself in your Instagram, and it's just fun. So that to me today made me smile, and anything that makes me smile is something good. Thank you for joining us, and until next time, take care of yourself.